Hello guys, welcome back to another Lumpy trading video. In this one we're going to be doing some in-depth stock analysis on ANGH, which is today's one of leading gappers, up around 130% as we're making this video, but market is still open at this time. So to get straight into it, when we're looking at small caps such as these, which are more momentum stocks, we don't tend to be looking as much at gap fills. So instead we'll tend to just be using the deviation charts and looking to make trades off those. So to get straight into it, the key targets we're looking at that we kind of aren't at is really where we ended at its peak today. You can see that is the fourth deviation on the daily chart, so really that is the highest we ever expect the stock to go, but obviously if momentum is strong we'll come back, retest and break it. But overall we can instead, the way we're going to have to kind of predict the stocks on this is kind of say where we expect it to continue falling, because we don't really expect it to go higher, and instead give support on the way down. So if you're looking to short, most likely where you're going to get bounces, or if you're looking to try and scalp some small shorts or small long plays, then these are going to be our targets for this. So really all we'll do is place all our standard deviation support lines, which we have now done. So now if we go into a 1 day 1 minute chart, we can start seeing where these levels kick in, and you'll be able to see kind of what they've been doing out throughout the day. You can kind of see here, kind of came into this level, obviously sold off a bit before, retested it, broke straight through. Again, hesitation at this level, pullbacks before breaking through. But as we can see, it didn't really hesitate too heavily on any of these levels, which is quite uncommon to see. So usually when you see this, momentum is very strong. If you see it kind of fail on the first two, for example here, then here, you know it's going to most likely be a strong momentum stock for the day, and it will continue going up as it did in this case. So instead now all we can really do is kind of use these levels to the downside, and we'll use these to support levels on the way down. So if you are shorting, maybe areas to be covering, or if you only trade long bias, these are probably areas where you could look to trade small scalps. So yeah, really 24 to kind of 23, again this level on the way down could be a support, but we've already come into this level a few times, so could be a bit riskier, and it would probably be instead better to wait kind of coming down to the $21 level and the $20 level, and trade these with small short longs, and again $18 and $15.50 to $15. These are again are all small long buy zones where we would expect. Usually for targets you can use the next deviation. For example, if you're getting long at $18, you could look for a target at $19.90, but sometimes obviously the pushes aren't that small. For example, here we can kind of see what we were looking at, kind of getting a long at this level here, and we can see we've now come into this next deviation, and again we most likely get a small pullback here, and you'll see it's happening right on the level. That's why we're now pulling back. But if we test this kind of breakthrough, we will be retesting this $33. If we break through here, it's very risky to be kind of shorting or kind of even going long, because it just means momentum is so strong. Yes, it's outside of reasonable zone, so you could short it and it would make sense for it to fall, but if it's already gone this high, why can't it go higher? And that's usually the risk you take if you're looking to short it kind of out of those zones. But really something we can give you targets to the downside. These are targets we're looking at. To the upside, really we only have its daily high around 13.13. But apart from that, we can't really give you any more upside targets. It would be more looking at seeing if it's done any gaps this far before, but it doesn't look like, yeah, that's an all-time high because it's a recent IPO. So really they're going to be our key levels. So more, again, to the downside we have targets. If it continues up, we don't really have targets for that. You're kind of going to have to trade it in a different way. But anyway, hope you enjoyed the video on ANGH. Hope to see you in the next one, and that's it. Peace.